Good morning, dear friends. Today we shall go with Romeo and Juliet's continued part, that is the second verse, Juliet's speech. In the last class, we understood how Romeo expressed his feelings towards Juliet in the banquet hall. Now, it starts like this. Romeo and Juliet both fall in love. They continue meeting. Often they meet in the evening time after sunset. This Juliet's speech occurs in the third act of second scene. The third act, second scene in Romeo and Juliet tragedy of William Shakespeare. Usually, the beloved and the lover both meet at a rendezvous, meeting place. Rendezvous means meeting place. Of course, the word is not given here. This word is not pronounced rendezvous. It's rendezvous, a French word. This meeting place is always fixed here. Romeo comes to meet Juliet every now and then. Juliet is always eager to see him. In one such occasion, in this particular scene, second scene of third act, that day, perhaps Romeo is a bit late, a little late. Hence, Juliet is eagerly waiting for him. At the instance, his delayed meeting, his delayed arrival is not sustained by her. She doesn't understand why he is so late. Even a moment of delay, a minute or moment of delay also is intolerable for the beloved or the lover. Thus, Juliet becomes desperate and prays the night time. Here, the night time is compared to a living thing. Night is personified here, and night is understood to be a male personified form or entity. Juliet prays, pleads this night time to occur quickly, to occur soon or early, so that her Romeo would turn towards her, her Romeo would come towards her hurriedly. Thus, she makes a pleading expression. Her feelings are expressed here. ಈ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ಪದ್ಯದ ಭಾಗದೊಳಗೆ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ ರೋಮಿಯೋನ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಕಾತರದಿಂದ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾಳೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇವನು, ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಇನ್ನೂ ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕತ್ತಲಾದರೂ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಚಿಂತೆ ಅವಳಿಗೆ. ಅವಳ ಆ ಭಾವನೆಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತ ಆಗ್ತವೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ವಿಲಿಯಂ ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ವರ್ಣಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಹಳ ಅರ್ಥಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ವರ್ಣಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ಲನ್ನ ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಏಕಾಂತ ಸ್ಥಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಭೇಟಿ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವತ್ತು ಕೂಡ ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಬಂದೇ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಆದರೆ ಚೂರು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಡ. ಈ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಡವಾಗಿ ಬರೋದು, ಒಂಚೂರು ವಿಳಂಬ ಇದೆ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸಹಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಕೆ ಉದ್ವಿಗ್ನಳಾಗಿ ರೋಮಿಯೋನ ಹಾದಿಯನ್ನ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾಳೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕತ್ತಲೆಯನ್ನ, ಆ ಸಮಯವನ್ನ ಆಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಡಿ ಹೊಗಳುತ್ತಾಳೆ. ಓ ಕತ್ತಲೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ನೀನು ಬೇಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆ ನೀನು ಬೇಗ ಉಂಟಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀನು ಬೇಗ ಉಂಟಾದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಓಡಿ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ, ಬೇಗ ಬಾ ನೀನು. ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕತ್ತಲಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಆಕೆ ಆಮಿಷವನ್ನ ಒಡ್ಡುತ್ತಾಳೆ. ಈ ಆಮಿಷ, ಆಸೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾಳೆ. ಬೇಗ ಕತ್ತಲೆ ಉಂಟಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಬಹುದು ಜನರಿಗೆ, ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ, ಪ್ರೇಮಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ತಮಗೂ ಕೂಡ ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ. ಕತ್ತಲಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಆಕೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ಳ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ವಿಲಿಯಂ ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಅವರು ಬಹಳ ರಸವತ್ತಾಗಿ ವರ್ಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಕತ್ತಲೆಯನ್ನ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಒಂದು ಜೀವಂತವಾದಂತಹ ವಸ್ತುವಿಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್, ಕತ್ತಲೆ ನೀನು ಬೇಗ ಬಾ, ಯಾಕೆ ನೀನು ಬೇಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀನು ಬೇಗ ಬಂದರೆ ನನ್ನ ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತ್ವರಿತವಾಗಿ, ಬೇಗದಿಂದ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ವೇಗವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಬಳಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ನೀನು ಬಂದರೆ ನನ್ನ ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಂತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ ಕತ್ತಲೆ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ಸಂವಾದಿಸ್ತಾಳೆ. ಈ ಸಂವಾದ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿದೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ತನ್ನದೇ ಆದಂಥ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲಿಲಾಕಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸಾಲಿಲಾಕಿ is also a figure of speech wherein a person speaks to oneself. A person converses to the self. It's called soliloquy. ಏಕ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಸಂಭಾಷಣೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಮೊದಲು ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ಲನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ತನ್ನೊಳಗೆ ತಾನು ಮಾತಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ತಾನೇ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಕತ್ತಲೆ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ಸಂವಾದವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ. ಇದೇ ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ. Let's go with the words. The second verse, a poem. Juliet's speech begins here. Beforehand, know these words and their meanings. This poem belongs to the Mid-English or Middle English period. Hence, some words are used here in a distinct manner. Thou means you. Willed means will. Raven, not Ravan or Raven. Raven means a black mountainous bird. Often seen, this particular raven or bird, ಕಂದು ಬಣ್ಣದ ಪಕ್ಷಿ, ಕಪ್ಪು ಬಣ್ಣದ ಪಕ್ಷಿ, ಬಹಳ ಕಪ್ಪು ಬಣ್ಣದಿರ್ತದೆ, ಕಡು ಕಪ್ಪು ಬಣ್ಣದ್ದು, ಜೆಟ್ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ ಆ ತರ, ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪಕ್ಷಿ ಅದು. ಇದು ಹಿಮಾಚ್ಛಾದಿತ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಕಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ ಮೌಂಟನಸ್ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್, ಸ್ನೋವಿ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಬರ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೀನ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ರೇವನ್. ನ್ಯೂ ಸ್ನೋ, another comparison is made here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೋಲಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ತಂದಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ. ನ್ಯೂ ಸ್ನೋ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಫಾಲನ್ ಸ್ನೋ. ಅದೇ ತಾನೇ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ, ಬಿದ್ದಿರುವಂತಹ ಹಿಮದ ಮಣಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಮಳೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಮಳೆ ಹನಿಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ತುಂತುರು ಹನಿಗಳು ಬೀಳ್ತವೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಹಿಮದ ತುಂತುರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಈ ಕಪ್ಪು ಪಕ್ಷಿ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಕಪ್ಪು ಬಣ್ಣದ ಪಕ್ಷಿ ಹಿಮಾಚ್ಛಾದಿತ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕರ್ಕಶವಾದ ದನಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಬೆನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಹಿಮದ ಮಣಿಗಳು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಮ ಅದರ ಬೆನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿರ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದು ತನ್ನ ಮೈಯನ್ನ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೊಡವುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ, ಝಾಡಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಹಿಮ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಶುಭ್ರವಾದ ಹಿಮ ಅದರ ಮೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಲಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ರೇವನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಡು ಕತ್ತಲೆ, ಕಪ್ಪು ಕತ್ತಲೆ, ಭಯಾನಕವಾದಂತಹ ಈ ಕತ್ತಲು ಸಮಯ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿರುವಂತಹ, ಆ ಪಕ್ಷಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿರುವಂತಹ ಹಿಮದ ಮಣಿಗಳು ಏನಿವೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ ತನ್ನ ರೋಮಿಯೋಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಸ್ತಾಳೆ. ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪಕ್ಷಿಯ ಮೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿರುವಂತಹ ಶುಭ್ರವಾದ ಹಿಮದ, ಬಿಳಿ ಬಣ್ಣದ ಹಿಮದ ಭಾಗ, ಹಿಮ, ಹೌದಾ? ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. Garish means bright burning sun, scorching sun, the glowing sun. Sun always is bright, but here another comparison is made. Bright burning sun also becomes gloomy before this night time. Okay, let's start. Juliet begins. Come night, come Romeo, come thou day and night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving black-browed night. Give me my Romeo, and when I shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars. See how wonderful this expression is. Take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. See, all the world will be in love with night, the same night she is speaking of. Well, from the beginning, let's start. First, Juliet urges, she pleads the night time to occur faster, quicker, earlier than ever. Come night, come Romeo, come. ಕತ್ತಲೆ ನೀನು ಬೇಗ ಬಾ, ರೋಮಿಯೋ ನೀನು ಕೂಡ ಬೇಗ ಬಾ, ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು. She tells she wants to see her Romeo sooner or the soonest. Hence, she pleads the night to come, to occur earlier. Come, thou day in night. Just understand, mark this particular part of the line. Thou day in night, thou means you. She addresses her Romeo. Her Romeo is daytime. He looks like sun, the sun, not the born sun, the sun who glows, who rises from the east, like that sun, like that day. Her Romeo appears, thou day in night. If her Romeo comes after dark, then it will be the daytime. ಸೂರ್ಯ ಬೇಕಾಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಗಲು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಶಬ್ದವೂ ಬೇಡ, ಹಗಲು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಧಿಯೂ ಬೇಡ. ಬರೀ ಅವಳ ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಆ ಕತ್ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಬೆಳಕಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಅದೇ ಬೆಳಕು, ಹಗಲು. This is the comparison. Her Romeo becomes the day for her even during that night time, if he comes towards her. Well, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night. Look at the second line. For thou wilt, you will lie. Lie means keep oneself, stay, hold. Her Romeo comes like the daytime, even in the night time. He looks like day, even during the dark situation, the bright one during the gloomy dark situation. Hence, thou wilt lie upon the wings of night. The wings of night. Night is again personified here with wings. It is compared to a bird. Night has no wings. Any bird has wings. Like A bird with wings flies. On the wings of such bird, if something is situated, it also travels along with the bird. Likewise, here, her Romeo travels on the wings of night. As the night happens on, as the night occurs, her Romeo nears her. This is the meaning here. Whiter than new snow on a raven's back, her Romeo, how he looks, she describes here. For her, he is everything. For Juliet, her Romeo is everything for her. He is her life. He is her lifeline. He is her breath. He is nothing but the bright, glowing sun to her. Whiter than new snow on a raven's back, on a raven's back, on a mountainous bird, that bird which is dark in color, which flies from mountain to mountain, region to region. On the cavern's side, when the bird flies on, there fresh snow is deposited on its back. Her Romeo looks exactly like the fresh fallen snow on the back of the black mountainous bird that is raven. In this way, here, a new snow, a fresh snow, is nothing but a comparison made to Juliet's Romeo. Juliet compares her Romeo to the fresh or new snow. Juliet compares the night time to raven. Her desperate nature, her anxiety is more violently, furiously expressed here. One thing we must understand here at this instance only. Compared to Romeo's feelings for Juliet, let us understand that Juliet's feelings towards her beloved Romeo are more violent, more factful, more fanciful also. Romeo also is fanciful about Juliet and her thoughts, but more than that, Juliet imagines. Juliet flows her imagination more fantastically. Her fantasy is very intent, very deep. The deep, shut emotions, feelings, the sense which she expresses, all those are very violent compared to Romeo's feelings for her. Here also, compared to men, women are ahead. Obvious fact, my friends. Now here, come, gentle night. Again, she pleads. She demands the night time to come earlier, to occur earlier. Come, gentle night. Night is never gentle. Night is never soft. It always creates horror and terror. But for Juliet, she wants to make her Romeo come towards her earlier, sooner, Hence, she calls night time a gentleman, a gentle being, a very kind entity, very kind being here. Come, loving black-browed night, black-browed, well, anybody's face which is very soft, but only the eyebrows are very dark. There, the eyebrows are seen very much visibly, very much glaringly. In this way, here, the black-browed night means this night time, though it is so dark, like the black brows of a person, of a male human being, like very terrifying, very frightening look a person has with brows, thick brows. Night also is like that. But all Juliet wants is the night, as soon as it comes or occurs, her Romeo also nears her. Her Romeo also comes towards her sooner, quicker. Therefore, she first pleads, demands the night time to occur quickly. Okay. Give me my Romeo. Her next thought is nothing but the night time, after occurring quickly onto the world, it should do one thing, only one favor it should do to her, that is, give her Romeo to her. Make her Romeo come to her, meet her. Give me my Romeo. Well, now Juliet offers night one thing. If night time does this favor, ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಕತ್ತಲೆ, ಈ ಕಡುಗತ್ತಲೆ, ಭಯಾನಕವಾದಂತಹ ಈ ಕತ್ತಲೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿಸುವಂತಹ ಕತ್ತಲೆ ಇದು. ಆದರೆ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ಳಿಗೆ ಅದು ಭಯಾನಕವಾದಂಥದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲವೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಹಳ ಮಧುರವಾದಂಥದ್ದು, ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾದಂಥದ್ದು, ಸ್ಫುರದ್ರೂಪಿಯಾದಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಹಾಗೆ, ದಪ್ಪನೆಯ ಹುಬ್ಬುಗಳನ್ನುಳ್ಳಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಕತ್ತಲೆ ಆಕೆಯ ಮನೋದೃಷ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. The inward eye of Juliet, the imaginary sense of Juliet describes night time into a handsome, fair being, living thing. So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕತ್ತಲೆಗೆ ಬೇಗ ಬರುವಂತೆ ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸ್ತಾಳೆ. ಕತ್ತಲೆ ಬೇಗ ಉಂಟಾದರೆ ಅವಳ ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಕೂಡ ಬೇಗ ಅವಳನ್ನು ಬಂದು ಸೇರ್ತಾನೆ, ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಭಾವನೆಯಿಂದ, ವಿಶೇಷವಾದಂತಹ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಉದ್ವಿಗ್ನತೆಯಿಂದ ಆಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕತ್ತಲೆಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಪರಿಪರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬೇಡಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕತ್ತಲೆ ಬೇಗ ಉಂಟಾದರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವಳ ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಅವಳ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬೇಗ ಓಡಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಬಹುದು, ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಬಹುದು ಕತ್ತಲೆಯಿಂದ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ Give me my Romeo. ನನ್ನ ರೋಮಿಯೋನನ್ನ ನನಗೆ ತಂದು ಕೊಡು. ನನ್ನ ರೋಮಿಯೋನನ್ನ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಬರುವಂತೆ ಮಾಡು. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಕತ್ತಲೆ ನೀನು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಾನು ಸತ್ತ ಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ನ ರೋಮಿಯೋನನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳಾಗಿ ತುಂಡು ತುಂಡಾಗಿ ಕತ್ತರಿಸಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳಾಗಿ ಆಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಟಿಸಿಬಿಡು. ನೋಡಿ, ಎಂಥ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂತಹ ಪರಿಕಲ್ಪನೆ, ಎಂಥ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂತಹ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಇದು. ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ವಿಲಿಯಂ ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ವರ್ಣನೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ತಾನು ಸಾಯ್ತಾಳೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ. Juliet is sure, like all the human beings, she will also die, but when she dies, what should Romeo be made of? It means Romeo also doesn't live after her death. She is sure of it, more than Romeo is sure of his death. Juliet is sure of her death. This uncertain kind of certainty can be seen only with the beloved and lover. Well, let's go further. And when I shall die, Juliet says, when she dies in future, after so many years, that is the imagination, assumption. When she dies after so many years, she urges the night. Again, she tells the night to do her another favor. She becomes an angel after her death. Her soul will reach heaven. She will become an angel, but she will not be alone. She should not be alone, because she begs the night. She demands the night to do one more thing. That is, take Romeo and cut him out. Make him into pieces, several pieces. Thousands and thousands of pieces. Romeo should be made. Romeo, ಅವನನ್ನ ತುಂಡು ತುಂಡಾಗಿ ಸಾವಿರಾರು ತುಂಡುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನನ್ನ ಕತ್ತರಿಸು. ನಾನು ಸತ್ತ ಮೇಲೆ ಏಂಜಲ್, ಅಪ್ಸರೆ ಆಗಬಹುದು, ನಿಂಫ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಆಗ ನನ್ನ ರೋಮಿಯೋನನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ತುಂಡುಗಳಾಗಿ ಕತ್ತರಿಸಿ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳಾಗಿ ಅವನನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಪಡಿಸಿ ಆಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಟಿಸು. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ. So, take him and cut him out in little stars, in small stars. Stars look smaller from here. They are seen in the sky in the night time, dark night time. And he will make the face of heaven so fine, so beautiful, the sky will be made. Face of heaven is another figurative expression. He will make the face of heaven, metaphoric expression. The face of heaven is nothing but sky. Sky obviously becomes the front portion, face to the heaven. Heaven is not seen, but its face is always seen. That is nothing but sky. Everybody looks towards heaven, but there we see the sky, the vast existing sky, that is compared here to the face of heaven. Wonderful expression, right? If Romeo is made into little stars in the sky, out in the sky, then because of Romeo becoming the little stars, glowing stars, the bright stars, heaven will be praised more. Heaven will look more beautiful because of the presence of Romeo in the form of so many stars. That so fine that one more effect will occur, one more favor will be done to the night time. The benefactor will also be night, not only Romeo and Juliet. Juliet, in fact, blesses the night time here with one more thing, that all the world will be in love with night. If night time does this favor to Juliet by cutting her Romeo into little stars and sticking them onto the sky after Juliet's death, then not only the heaven be blessed, not only people look towards the sky in the night time, but they will also forget the daytime. They will also forget worshipping the bright, garish sun. That's what she says. That all the world will be in love with night. All human beings on earth, in the world, will begin admiring the night time. Everybody likes the daytime for good all activities. Daytime obviously is the suitable one. In the daytime we could see the things, but in the dark night time we can't see the things. But here everything is reverse. Everything is reverse here. Watch out. All the people in the world will begin worshipping the night time, not the daytime. They'll admire and adore. They'll love to be during this hour, to be awake during this hour, night time, and pay no worship. Pay no worship means they don't worship. They will not, people will not worship the garish sun, the bright burning sun, glowing sun will no more be worshipped by the people in this world. You means here night time will be worshipped by everybody, everyone in this world. Now onwards. So intent Juliet's feelings are towards her Romeo, because of which she even praises, eulogizes or praises the night time. Thus William Shakespeare shows his excellence in describing through the voices of Romeo and Juliet respectively each other's. Thank you.